Well, last night the opening to the series didn't go all that well for the Phillies, but now they've got game 2. They haven't lost a series in quite some time, so they're going to try to even this one up. It's game 2 between the Phils and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Ben Davis. So the story last night was the long ball. Jorge Soler hit a long home run for the Kansas City Royals, but the guy that really provided a pop was Alex Gordon. Now, he provides us with our Toyota turning point in last night's ball game because the ball was jumping off his bat.
Yes, it was. There's always one guy in the lineup that you do not want to have hurt you. And for the Kansas City Royals, it's Alex Gordon. A Toyota turning point, as you alluded to. This first one's supposed to be a backdoor cutter. Alex Gordon goes up top, and it was a long one. This park, not known for being a hitter's ballpark, but boy, the ball was jumping last night. And this second one, just a fastball that was elevated. Heck of a play by that Phillies fan. Unfortunately, that was Gordon's second of the night. If you take a look at the numbers, a very storied history here in Kansas City. 6 all-time in games, 6 in time in runs. Hits, he got his 1,500th last night. He is just an extra base machine, but what he does so well is in the outfield with the 6 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, very good defensive player. Now he's on pace for 33 home runs. Why is that a story? Because last year he had just 13 home runs for the Kansas City Royals. All right, so tonight is game 2 of this 3-game series. Brad Keller on the hill for the Royals. Zach Eflin, meanwhile, he's had a good run the last couple starts. He's making his 8th start of the season. We'll be back to KC after this. You need with Xfinity XFi. This is beyond Wi-Fi. This is XFi. Royals have taken the field behind their right-hander, Brad Keller. This is the lineup cards being exchanged a few moments ago. Dan Bellino, who had the plate last night, was chatting with Gabe Kapler, and Gabe was trying to get the umpires to give him at least a better indication, because you have 30 seconds to challenge a particular play. And if there's a stolen base like we had last night, there is no clock that goes off in the ballpark. So Gabe would like them to communicate a little bit better and let him know when the clock is down to 10 seconds, because as Dan Bellino told him last night, the clock is in my head. I'm counting. And Gabe said, okay, but that doesn't help me. I don't know how fast you're counting. There's no stopwatch. It's just in his head.
And not a mind reader. Mississippi?
So I asked Gabe, well, is he counting with 1 Mississippi or 1 1,000? Because that does make a little bit of a difference.
And you're adamant that Mississippi is slower than 1,000.
There's no question it is. All right, let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Pretty much the same lineup, except for Andrew Knapp is the catcher tonight, and JT Realmuto is DHing. Bryce Harper is leading the National League in walks. He walked 3 times in last night's game. And they're facing right-hander Brad Keller, 23 years old, from the state of Georgia. He was a Rule 5 selection by the Reds, who then traded him to the Royals, and he spent the whole year last year in the big leagues. So McCutchen leads it off, and he takes the first pitch off the outside corner. And we're underway.
Not going to dominate you. He will throw that fastball a lot, even though it only sits about 93. The fastball he'll throw 64% of the time. He is a 4-pitch pitcher.
Yeah, the fastball is a sinker. Yeah, but it isn't sinking the way it did last year. Although he has allowed only 10 home runs in 187 2/3 big league innings. He is over the top like Josh Colmenter, if you remember him, from the Arizona Diamondbacks, which is the team that drafted Brad Keller.
And a very quick worker.
Breaking ball, and it's 2-2. McCutchen 235, 5 home runs, 12 runs batted in. On base percentage is still good. It's at 362. Left side. Mondesi charges. He got a nice hop. It went away. Yeah, that'll bring Gene Segura to the plate. Segura was 1 for 4 in last night's game. I think McCutchen's okay. It's just I think he was just upset with himself. That's why he was so slow to get back to the dugout. Segura is 2 for 18 on this road trip. 1 ball, no strikes. Pulls that one just foul.
Amazing how fast his bat gets through the zone. It really is.
Keller at his last outing went 5 1/3 against the Tigers. He allowed 2 earned runs. Royals lost the game 5-2. There's a bullet foul down the left field line.
Incoming. Yeah, his last 3 starts, 0-2 with a 6.48 ERA. Is Brad Keller. So the Phillies could be catching him at a good time.
And another breaking ball, and it's hit foul. I mentioned he was drafted by the Reds in 2017 in December and immediately was traded to the Royals, which you could do. The Phillies did that this year. They drafted a kid out of the Dodgers and traded him to the Orioles. And he wound up being up with the big club last year and pitched in 41 games. First as a reliever, then as a starter. He was 9-6 with an earned run average of 3.08. To the left side again. Charging is Dozier. He gets it on the big hop. 2 ground balls, 2 outs. Time now for the AARP take on Bryce Harper and Alex Gordon. Harper against the Royals, Gordon against the Phillies. 7 games for Harper, 10 games for Gordon. And both have had success against the teams they're facing right now. Harper takes outside. Harper last night 3 walks. He was 1 for 1 with a run scored. I know we talked about Martin Maldonado and how he was holding pitches last night, and he was doing it really in an annoying fashion. And we wondered what the players thought of it. And talking to Bryce today, he thought it was crazy that he would hold it as much. He said everybody was talking about it. Gabe said everybody was talking about it. And he said that each time Maldonado would hold a ball, and it was a ball off the plate, home plate umpire would ask him, did you have that as a strike? And the hitters, the Phillies hitters, are like, it's a ball.
Yeah. Andrew McCutchen was emphatic in the fact that he said he's holding pitches that are 8 to 12 inches outside. It was on every pitch.
2-1. And what we've deduced is that if you look at the game chart, because Baseball Savant has, the chart that says where pitches were and what was called a strike and a ball, it did help Bailey somewhat early on. That one is hit foul down the left field line.
Phil Cuzzy, the crew chief behind the dish tonight.
Yeah, we got the enforcer behind the plate tonight.
Right.
Two and 2. And a base hit to left field for Harper. And Harper hustling around first, thought about going to second.
A wise decision. We talked about Alex Gordon's 6 gold gloves in left field.
Yeah, I think Gordon may have pulled the string on that throw once he saw that Harper had stopped.
Probably the wise decision, because being on first base, he is in scoring position already for the Phillies' first baseman.
Alex Gordon has 95 outfield assists since 2010, which is tied with Gerardo Parra for the most in Major League Baseball. First pitch to Hoskins is on the outside corner.
Didn't like that ball. Throw a strike with it, got to get it out. Reese trying to atone for his game last night. 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. Same spot, and it's 2-1.
I don't think this will be a spot where Bryce will take off, but he did take off last night on a hot shot that JT Realmuto hit up the middle. Ended up being it beat the shift, and Bryce went to third, and JT got into second base on what could have been a double play.
Ground ball past the feet of Dusty Wathan, 2-2. Ooh. Ball boy took that a little easy. So Harper will be off on this pitch. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. With Realmuto, the DH, on deck. Well, this is normal for Reese. He sees an average of 4.7 pitches per plate appearance. Harper goes. And that pitch is hit high in the air to deep left field. Gordon going back toward the fence, and he has room. And he makes the catch. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. On to the bottom of the first. Phillies nothing. Refreshing finish. We take a look back at Eflin's last outing against the Nationals. He had some pretty good breaking pitches going. And also that high fastball, that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 7 innings, 5 strikeouts. Phillies won that game 7-1.
He's been really, really good. Fastball was so good at changing the eye level with that fastball, working down with a sinker, then going up top with a 4-seamer. He's been really good. His last 2 starts, 16 innings pitched, just 2 earned runs.
Zach overall 4-3, an ERA of 3, 7 walks. That's it. In fact, his walk rate is the 7th lowest.
He'll sit about 93, 94. He will bump it up to 96 at times. He's using that slider / cutter quite a bit.
Whit Merrifield leads it off. Merrifield 1 for 4 last night. Had a first pitch in there.
Perfect spot on pitch 1. You could throw that pitch 90 times a night and have unbelievable success. How many times we hear Larry talk about that? Dot that fastball down and way to a righty.
I think it sets up so many other pitches too.
It's just the bottom line is this is a hard pitch to hit and have, especially for slugging wise. You might get a single out of it if you're lucky.
Oh, 2 pitch, Kevin. And a slider. He did not go. Close pitch.
Yeah, it was.
1-2.
But if you can throw that fastball down and away, then you get some hitters start diving a little bit. And then when you come back in, it doesn't even have to be that good in. It should just be moderately on the inside part of the plate and get some jam shots.
Popped up. Segura out in shallow left center. And 1 away. Rest of the Royals lineup brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Mondesi is up next, then Gordon and Hunter Dozier. Jorge Soler, he's had a good run. He's hitting 5th. O'Hearn bats 6th. Bottom third of Gutierrez. Owings starts at center field tonight, and Martin Maldonado. Here is Mondesi, who had a nice night last night. He was a threat on the base paths with a couple stolen bases. I think that curveball went where Zach wanted it to. That pitch did.
Jeez. Paint.
Late on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
We talk about it quite a bit. If you're not facing Zach Eflin, if you haven't seen him before, that 94 looks like 104 because of how free and easy he is. He doesn't exert a whole lot of effort.
Now, the other thing too is he picks up his first strikeout. He is 6'6", so I mean he's all arms and legs. So he's coming at you, a little closer than you would expect.
He's reaching out and handing this pitch to Andrew Knapp. Climb the ladder, perfect spot.
Gordon 291 with 8 home runs, 30 runs batted in. He was 2 for 4 last night. And rolls over on that pitch, a fair ball. What an easy inning. That's just 8 pitches for Eflin, and the side is retired in order. We've completed 1. We're going to the 2nd. Phillies nothing, Royals nothing. Flash sale alert. Tickets $2 for this Monday and for this Wednesday when the Phillies take on the Brewers. The sale ends tomorrow, so don't miss out. Go to Phillies.com to get your tickets while supplies last. Here's JT Realmuto, who is 1 for 3 last night with a double. That ball that Ben talked about in the first inning. Last night, Harper reached base safely 4 times as the Phillies DH. The last player to do that, reach base safely as the DH in 4 at-bats, was Pat Burrell in 2006. One ball, 1 strike. 2-1. Ground ball. Sounds like a broken record. Three ground balls, and O'Hearn's able to hang on the bag.
The old backup slider got JT right here. You read spin, you expect it to break, it just never breaks. You go out to get it and it jams you.
Odubel Herrera is the hitter. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, the roster shuffling for the Phillies continues today as the Phils announced that Vince Velasquez is headed to the injured list. He had some issues with his forearm, a little tenderness in his forearm on his last start versus St. Louis, and they just wanted to make sure that he is okay through a bullpen yesterday. Still felt it, so he is headed to the injured list. Austin Davis, the left-hander, has rejoined the Phillies. He is in the bullpen tonight, but what does that mean for tomorrow? Because, of course, Vince Velasquez was scheduled to start the final game of this road trip tomorrow against these Royals. Well, Cole Irvin is here, and he will be activated tomorrow and make his major league debut for the Phils. Of course, the International League Pitcher of the Year last year was Cole Irvin, the left-hander, and he's going to get a chance to make that major league debut on Mother's Day with his parents here in the ballpark, so an exciting time for him. And they don't expect Vince Velasquez to be on the list for too long, but in the meantime, Cole Irvin will get that shot in the big leagues, guys.
Yeah, Gabe Kapler said that Vince reiterated this today, that Vince did throw his bullpen yesterday and just still felt something in the forearm. He felt it in the Cardinals game when he threw his slider. It was the DeYoung home run where he felt it the most. But that was a fastball that he eventually threw. But whether it's one start or it's two, all depends on the next several days.
They don't know how long he will go without picking up a ball.
O'Hearn flips it to Keller covering.
Not like they said, all right, Vince, you have to shut it down for a week before you pick up a ball. It's just going to have to wait and see. They have not had any tests run.
Now there's Cole Irvin, who just fist bumped Bobby Dickerson and then went to the mound and just taking a look.
Visualize.
Yep. Sean Rodriguez looking at him, wondering, is he going to throw BP? Nick Williams looking at him too. Cole is a very confident kid, and he's excited because he's going to have a bunch of family and friends here tomorrow. Both his mom and dad, his brother, and a bunch of other folks as well. He deserves the opportunity. There's no doubt about that. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The Phillies are trying to figure out, you know, the matchup for tomorrow. He said his stuff profiles well. Obviously, he gets profiles well against a lot of teams. He said this club in particular get a different look being a left-hander.
Well, and he throws strikes too.
Yep.
Into the shift, Merrifield takes care of Cesar. Well, I can't tell you that these sinkers are down in the zone, but he does have 5 ground ball outs out of the first 6. Middle of the second here in Kansas City. We'll be back after this. Philly teams with you, presented by your Philadelphia area local Chevy dealers. Couple on the left celebrating their 27th wedding anniversary. Congratulations. Cheers.
Slancha.
Here's Hunter Dozier to begin the second, and that's the first hit of the day for the Royals. Dozier was 0 for 4 last night with a run.
He got jammed quite a few times last night. He was very intent there on getting the bat head out.
And now Jorge Soler. Ten home runs, 25 RBIs. One of those home runs came last night. Soler had only 257 plate appearances last season. He already has 162 this year. As Ben mentioned, health has always been an issue for him. Last night he provided us with a giant home run replay.
That is some bat speed and all the way into the fountain in center field. You don't see too many go up there. That's your home run replay brought to you by Giant.
Last year his injury was a left toe fracture that hurt him in June, but then affected him again in August. One ball and no strikes to Soler. 1-1. He just said it was down to Phil Cuzzi, and Phil Cuzzi said, no, it's not.
I'll let you know. Tom, for the record, umpires do not like when you tell them, I'll let you know when it's a strike. They do not like that. Write that down.
All right, so they don't like being called blue. And they don't like when you tell them the pitch is down. All right, we're getting better at this. 2-1.
Very rarely would I drop that on an umpire.
What, blue?
No, I bet. How about I let you know when it's a strike? They didn't like that. But that's when I just about had enough. Them missing pitches.
I guess so.
I never liked my guy getting pinched out there.
You like the fact that Cuzzy, like the way he's holding on to Andrew Knapp? Would you like that?
I did not, especially with a runner on first base. But that's just the way some umpires do it. Most of the time, they're going to hang out over the inside part of the plate. See where Phil is lined up on the inside corner to Soler. So they get a better glimpse of that ball in, and you know the extent of the 17 inches on the other side.
Remains 2-2. Why is he holding on to him like that?
Umpires are different. Some guys hang on to you, some guys lean on you. You know, you've heard me tell this story before about the late, great Eric Gregg in a game in New York. It was blistering hot. We're facing Al Leiter. Woody Williams was pitching for us, and he had gone home for the night. He went back to Philly, Eric did, and he comes back the next day, and he was hanging on me the first thing. I mean, hanging all over me. I said, "Hey, you all right?" He's like, "I didn't know it was going to be this hot today, big boy." I said, "Well, you can hang on me." He said, "We get a runner on first." I said, "You got to lay off a little bit." He's like, "I'll try." And he made it through that ball game.
That might be two. There's the flip, barehanded by Cesar, and in time. I don't know if he would have gotten him if he had to make the exchange from his glove.
I know Bobby Dickerson did not work on that barehand play today with Cesar.
Well, he worked on hand-eye.
That's right. But every time we've seen this out of Zach Eflin, I don't need a glove. Get the leadoff man on and just negates it with a double play. It's been so good for Zach Eflin. It's about as tailor-made as you're going to find. A little cutter there to Reese, but he held on.
O'Hearn hits it out to center field. Herrera's got room, and he waits for it. And the inning is over. No runs, one hit, and nobody left. Another comfortable inning for Zach Eflin. We have played two. We'll go to the third. Michael Franco. Ordering office furniture aids. Get free delivery, free assembly, and free cleanup when you order the best brands of furniture like Hahn, delivered and placed exactly where you want it, whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but W.B. Mason. Philly fans enjoying some Chickies and Pete's crab fries. They do sell them here at the ballpark. I think it's kind of neat. I mean, just it's kind of arbitrary. But I know the Phillies fans were looking forward to it. This ballpark, which opened in 1973 and had been refurbished in 2008 and 9, $250 million renovation. There's some talk that they may eventually move downtown once the lease is up, and the lease is up in, you know, not for quite a while. But this is also the complex where the Chiefs have their stadium. Outside, 1-2.
So I was talking to Rob Thompson today during batting practice, or right before batting practice. He said the original plans for this ballpark and Arrowhead next door was to have a rolling roof that would go over both stadiums.
That pitch was off the plate, but go ahead, Ben.
So if it was obviously raining or snowing for a Chiefs game, they would be able to roll it over that stadium, and vice versa with this ballpark.
It's interesting that they would have that concept.
But they definitely had the room to do it. I mean, there's nothing out here. Definitely would have had the room, but it makes sense, especially in this climate here in the Midwest. An awful big rolling roof.
Awfully big. Yeah, there's a lot of parking here. In fact, tailgating at a Chiefs game is pretty impressive. Andrew Knapp takes inside, 1-0. I do like in the stadium, Arrowhead, to the old Meadowlands, like that kind of facility, but with a different arc on the upper deck. But it is loud.
How does that compare to the Link, loud-wise?
So it's a good question. I think that Seattle is probably the loudest stadium I had been to until I was at the NFC championship against the Vikings at the Link.
Okay.
I thought that was the loudest I had heard a football stadium.
Really?
Yeah. Outside ball 4, net draws a walk. But Kansas City for radio is tough to tell because the radio booth is enclosed, and there's no other place in the NFL where the radio booth is enclosed. For TV, you get kind of a sense for it because you're down a little lower. McCutcheon grounded out his first time up.
I wonder if it's just that much louder. It does hold a capacity 76,416.
I will say it's the toughest stadium to get out of traffic-wise.
It's a lot of people.
Don't plan a flight after the game unless the flight is like 4 hours later. But I was here to see a Royals game on opening day in I think '07 against the Red Sox, and the tailgating even for that, there were campers everywhere.
Yeah.
RVs everywhere. They've had sort of a renaissance downtown, and I think that's what they're trying to capitalize on.
Definitely a cool little district they have down there. Nice shopping, restaurants.
That pitch just a bit low, and it's 2-2. Segura on deck. Little looper out toward right center field, and that is going to drop. Knapp had to wait, and appropriately he had to see if it would drop, but he gets to second base. Well, the Phillies just stole a hit, and we want to remind you that the Student Steal is back for one game only, and it's this Tuesday during Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. Why is that important? Well, Ben, I'm going to tell you. $20 ticket plus your first concession item is on the Phils. The concession items include Shake Shack burgers, Chickies and Pete's crab fries, Bull's barbecue, Tony Luke's, and of course dollar dogs. Anything you can eat or drink up to $12. Visit Phillies.com/student-steal to order your tickets. Ed Segura takes low, 1-0. Segura grounded out his first time up.
Nice block there by Maldonado. Both knees get down to the ground at the same time, centered up in your chest protector.
Two teammates from Milwaukee, Segura and Maldonado.
Turned down a 2-year extension last year from the Astros for $12 million.
Off the glove of Maldonado, and the runners advance. That'll be the 9th wild pitch while he's been catching. Let's see if the Phillies can capitalize, Ben. They were 0 for 8 last night with runners in scoring position.
Man, he just lets this ball take him back. I think that's got to be a pass ball.
It has been scored a wild pitch.
Why? I think you got to give Gene the green light here.
Inside, ball 4.
Or wearing off the shoulder, one or the other.
Second walk of the inning. And it brings Harper up.
And the reason I say that is because Gene, very good hand-eye coordination, has been swinging the bat very well this season. I know you have Harper on deck, but in that situation, more often than not, you're going to get a good pitch to hit with Harper on deck. So you think that Keller would have thrown one in there. We'll have to see what Harper can do here. Pick one out and have at it. Could it be a 2 grand slam road trip for Bryce Harper?
Be nice to get 4 runs on the board here. Be nice to just get a couple runs after last night.
They have that listed as a slider. That's pretty over the top, if you ask me. Breaking more like a curveball. And he's 64% fastball, 34% slider. I just think that has more depth than a slider typically does.
He is the American League leader in walks. He's walked 2 in this inning. Yeah, the dirt 1-2. In fact, you have a contrast of pitchers tonight. I mentioned that Eflin has the 7th lowest walk percentage. It's 4.1%. That's low. Well, Keller has the 3rd highest. He's walking nearly 14% of the hitters that he faces. Yu Darvish is number 1.
Amazing how spread out Bryce gets with 2 strikes.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Harper. And a swing and a miss to the breaking ball. Two outs.
Big out there for Keller. Just 1 out away from getting out of this. Just you see that slider in the dirt. Reese was about, I'd say, 2 feet away from a 2-run homer his first at bat. Alex Gordon making a play on him right at the fence in left field.
Well, he's getting away with a couple pitches here, but give him credit. Phillies aren't swinging at him. First pitch to Harper, and that first pitch there to Reese. And now Reese is behind 0-1, just like Bryce was behind 0-1.
Very defensive swing there by Reese.
We had a long discussion today with Gabe about just aggressiveness. Like he'd like his hitters to be aggressive even when there's 2 strikes. So he said, if you think I'm just going to try to put this ball in play, then you might just roll over on it. If you think I can drill it, you might be able to hit it over the center fielder's head.
Right.
And that topic came up just because we were talking about Odubel's at bats last night. And I think there was one other, maybe Franco. It wasn't just Odubel, but it migrated into an Odubel conversation. 0-2 to Hoskins with the bases loaded. Checked his swing. And it's 1-2.
Nowhere to put him.
He has thrown 25 pitches in this inning, but has not given up a run yet. Pitch gas presented by P.J. Wheelahands.
That was a heck of a play by Maldonado. Bryce hoping his teammate can pick him up here.
And a line drive, hot shot past the diving Merrifield into left center field. One run is in. McCutcheon's heading home. Segura to third. The ball hits him. It's a 2-run base hit for Hoskins. And the Phillies are on top 2-0.
And that's exactly what Rhys Hoskins does. He picks his teammate up. An excellent base run here by Rhys. Throw goes to third. He immediately goes to second base. Good all the way around. Good 2-strike hitting. Good situational hitting. 2 outs there. That's excellent job. There was a fastball up in the zone. Rhys drills it right past Whit Merrifield into center field. That scores 2 easily. Segura to third and Rhys into second.
So single and 2 RBIs. He goes to second on the throw. Those RBIs, 33 and 34 for Hoskins, who's joking around with Merrifield. And it was boxed by Maldonado, and here comes Segura. There may have been a cross up there.
Yeah, I think.
And the Phillies will capitalize, up 3-0.
Not a good time for a cross up. Looking fastball, and Keller throws a slider. Well, Phil Cuzzy staying with that pitch and calling it a strike, because it was a strike.
Yeah, the Phillies are getting on him about it, but you're right. Looking at the replay, it was in that box. So we've had a wild pitch and a pass ball in this inning. And the Phillies have 3 runs. Oh, 0-2. Scoreboard here says 1-1, and Phil Cuzzy's trying to change it. Now he does. And a strike 3 called on the outside corner. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Keller, but the Phillies scored 3 runs. Rhys Hoskins, a 2-run base hit, has helped the Phils to a 3-0. To you by Nissan. Choose Nissan.com. Along with Ben Davis and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. We move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the Phillies fans, they're smart. They brought their heavier coats. It is cool tonight. In fact, tomorrow it's going to be cool for the day game, and hopefully not as wet as they originally projected. Zach Eflin, thanks to his offense, has a 3-0 lead. 2 runs earned, 1 unearned in that inning. Gutierrez last night 1 for 3 with a sac fly. Back toward the box, fielded by Eflin. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand with MLB.tv. Your subscription plan includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to stream live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Chris Owings, who we first saw when he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks. One for his last 10, hitting 143. Hits that one softly on one hop. Handcuffs Segura for a moment, but is able to throw him out. Woo. That ball just didn't seem like it had a lot of carry on it from Segura. It just, you're wondering, when is it going to get to Rhys Hoskins? They might take a look at it. Dale Swain.
He doesn't know whether to come in and catch it in the air. He decides to stay back on it. Fortunately for Gene, he's got such a good arm. Man, that was close.
Maldonado last night had a base hit. He also struck out twice. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Take another look.
Yep, barely. That's why you don't lunge at the bag. Run through it.
What a two. And a strike three called. 1, 2, 3. Go the Royals. Another perfect inning for Zach Eflin. 2 of the first 3.
That's a shutdown inning.
Game 7, tune into Sixers pregame live here on the My Teams app for the latest on Joel Embiid's health and any other late-breaking news. After the game, your favorite analysts recap the action with Sixers postgame live and Outsiders. Get complete Sixers Raptors Game 7 coverage right here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. In between innings, Bobby Dickerson talking to Gene Segura. It's not uncommon for a coach to discuss a particular play right after it happens. But I will say that the last couple of years it's happened more often with all of the coaches. You know, sometimes a pitching coach will wait, sometimes a hitting coach will wait, but this coaching staff, and I like it. I think if you see it, go find out.
Attack it while it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah. And this is a very hands-on coaching staff, and Bobby and Paco Figueroa, who are basically the defensive coaches, I mean, they go right after it, and I think it's great. Same with Dusty, with the catchers. No, Double fouls it back. Down the left field line, that's a fair ball for Odubel. Gordon plays this wall very well, but it doesn't kick to him, so Odubel's able to get to second with his 8th double of the year.
Picking up where they left off last inning.
Yep.
3-2 fastball away. Don't try and pull it. Head down on it. Good piece of hitting there.
Cesar fouls it back. Phillies began the year with victories in the opening game of series against Atlanta, Washington, Minnesota, and then Washington again, and at Miami. But since that time, they have only won one opening game to a series. In fact, it's got to the point where the coaches have realized it. There's no real explanation to it. Just they haven't won an opening game that often. They won the Washington game right after the 2-game series against Detroit. As Cesar's hit by that pitch.
That happened to me once at Wrigley against Kerry Wood. It was 0-2 count, and he was just absolutely filthy. And he threw a ball up and in. It was a day game at Wrigley. It was so bright, and it just glanced off my elbow. I didn't wear obviously any of the stuff these guys wear with elbow pads.
Yeah, too tough.
But it like literally just grazed my right elbow. If it would have hit my elbow, it would have shattered it. It was some fastball up and in, and it just grazed me. And the umpire heard a little click, click. First base. I'm thinking that's the best 0-2 pitch I've ever got. I mean, it had strikeout written all over it.
Franco in the air to left field. It's not deep. Playable for Gordon. Odubel tags from second, and he draws the throw. 1 out.
Well, that's a pitch you want to go after. First pitch slider there from Michael.
The shift on Andrew Knapp, provided by StatCast AI, powered by AWS. Andrew walked and scored his first time up. Good swing, 1-1.
Really good swing there.
Numbers with runners in scoring position. Andrew should catch again on Thursday afternoon, that business person special between the Phillies and the Brewers. That's just the way things are laid out right now, as the staff does lay out the schedule ahead of time. It's not set in stone.
Good take there by Andrew. Seen some of these Phillies fishing for that slider down in the dirt. He saw that one all the way. That looked to be a pretty good spot. And Maldonado just boxed it.
Same pitch, just off the plate. Back-to-back walks for Knapp, and the bases are now loaded.
That pitch count continues to creep up. Keller, why don't you ask Phil Cousy, is that down?
Dale Swaim will adjust the defense for the Royals as the bench coach. PJ Wheelhands presents Pitchcast. And just off the plate, 4 was better than 5. So they weren't exactly the same pitches. McCutcheon singled his last time up and then came around to score.
He's got a frog in his mitt.
Look at Segura saying something to him.
I guarantee you there was a sapo yelled. Whenever someone clanked the pitch, someone would yell sapo, which is Spanish for frog. And you got a frog in your mitt. Gabe Morales says yes, he did in fact go around.
Yeah, McCutcheon did not argue at all. Not that he really argues, but he must have felt like he did offer. Cal Eldred, the pitching coach. Over toward third. Dozier steps on the bag, comes home, and he throws wide. A run scores, and Knapp will go to third. It's 4-0. Phillies on top.
Right idea, poor execution. Whereas an infielder, you always have to be thinking, if this ball's hit to my left, where am I going? To my right, where am I going? Slow roller, hard hit, around the horn double play. It's the right play. Dozier comes and gets on the big hop. You would have seen here, Odubel would have been out by plenty. He just yanks this ball left. Nothing Maldonado can do. It's almost like he didn't create a throwing lane for himself, so he didn't know what side of Odubel to throw it on. He chooses the left side.
But he was on the right side.
It was on the right side, made that errant throw.
4 runs on 4 hits for the Phillies. And a ground ball back to second. Merrifield is up with it. And that'll do it for the Phillies here in the 4th. But they add 1 more run. They do so with 1 hit. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. 4-0 Phils. You buy your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play the new Maximilian ticket. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Well, Zach Eflin has a 4-run lead to work with. He has thrown just 27 pitches through the first 3 innings. He is 7 of 9 on first pitch strikes. Not a bad start at all.
Keep being aggressive.
Time now for our Nissan upgrade. Upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. And Merrifield, since 2017, is behind Blackman and Arenado in hits, tied with Jose Altuve. That's a nice name to be tied with.
Altuve left the game last night with some hamstring issues.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
There was a story out last week saying he's finally healthy, 100% healthy. And his numbers showed that.
Mm-hmm.
And a strike 3 called on the outside corner. Merrifield disagreed. That was a really close pitch. It's the 3rd strikeout for Eflin.
I mean, he is just dotting this pitch down and away. Command this pitch and have success. Take a look at PitchCast, brought to you by PJ Wheelahans. Andrew brought it up a little bit, but my goodness. Keep dotting it there.
Swing and a miss.
He just can't catch up to this fastball right now. Just got to keep throwing it. Swung through to his first at bat. Stay at the top of the zone with it.
And the cutter.
Or throw it back to our paint piece.
And now Merrifield is getting on Phil Cuzzy.
You had your chance up here. You want to stay, then stay.
The enforcer.
That's right.
I don't think he'll get a 3rd warning.
Ground ball to shortstop. It's Franco, the third baseman, and he's safe. Franco laid back on it. He's not used to playing there, obviously, but he can't lay back on that.
Know thy runner. What a gift to be able to run like that. And you're right, he does lay back. You got to attack this ball. He just lets that ball come to him, takes 2 shuffles, and Mondesi too quick. It's the right call.
So an infield hit. And here's Alex Gordon. Gordon last time up grounded out to Reese over at first. Time now for our Geico quote of the day on his 1500th hit. That is a nice number. It took me a while to get there, halfway to George. I don't know how he did that. It's cool. I'm lucky to have played this game this long. Lucky to have gotten 1500 hits. Happy to do it. Inside. Should be happy to do it.
We showed the graphic before the game. 1,500 hits and 1,589 career games played. A lot of hitting.
He is the 6th Royal to accomplish that. George Brett being one of them. Willie Wilson, who made the last out of the 80 World Series. Amos Otis. There's that graphic we showed during the Open tonight, in case you missed it. Runner goes. Pitch is taken for a ball. Throw to second base is off the glove of Segura, and it pops into shallow center field. He is quick.
Amazing.
He has taken over the league lead in stolen bases now with 13.
And that just goes to show you the kind of baseball that the Royals like to play. Down 4-0, not a deterrent to stealing a bag. He can flat out motor. And he's that. There's not a throw that in the world that would have gotten him there. He got Mondesi, Gore, and Hamilton. That is some speed. Even Merrifield. These boys can roll. But look at how Mike Kellis staying back on the ball has affected this inning.
Yeah.
All this would not be necessary if Mikey just charged that ball. In all fairness, you're not expecting someone to. You know, the ball was hit rather sharply, but still, you got to know your runner and how quick they are.
He was moving. Two balls, one strike. To the right side, and Cesar will make the play. Over to third base goes Mondesi. 2 outs. Dozier, who singled his last time up, is coming up. Starter comparison. Keller's allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earns. That is walk 3. He's 83 pitches, whereas Eflin is just about to throw his 40th pitch. And Dozier, who has one of the pitch inside, who has one error tonight. There's a pass ball, wild pitch, and an error by Dozier. We were thinking back to that play because there was where he had the error trying to get Odubel, and he did throw from the foul territory of third base over to fair territory in front of the plate. Maldonado could have come off, caught it, and still gone back and maybe tagged Odubel.
It's almost like he forgot it was a force, not a force play. Like he thought it was a force play.
Right.
Of course, the force being taken away as soon as Dozier steps on the third base bag. You got to come off and get that ball right there, like a first baseman would have to do. You concede the base, go get the ball to prevent more runs from scoring. And the other run is from advancing bases.
That ball is hit sharply foul. She's very happy for the net in front of her. Two balls, two strikes. Oh, and that hit the bat. You shake it out of his hands, and time is called as he goes to first.
I don't think so.
Gabe is going to take a look. You don't think it hit his hand? You think it hit the bat?
I think it hit the bat.
It sounded like it hit the bat.
Be jumping around a heck of a lot more.
Yeah, because that was a fastball.
Correct. Take a look.
Oh no, it hit his hand. I don't know how he's not in more pain than that. Maybe because he has that protection on the glove.
Out of the mid-90s fastball, that protection's not going to help a whole heck of a lot.
It sounded like bat.
Pitch at 95.6 miles per hour.
All right, so now Soler, who hit into a double play his first time up. And he takes down and away.
Yeah, just off the top. I don't know why I made that sound.
Well, I'm wondering if he's got a piece of plastic or something on that batting glove, you know, the protection of the batting glove. Or he shattered his hand. I don't know. Eflin delivers at the knees, and it's 1-1. And that hit him. Well, that'll load the bases up.
How many extra pitches and controversy this is causing Zach Eflin? He should be out of the inning, sitting on the bench right now.
Well, Chris Young is out just to kind of calm him down a little bit, let him take a beat. He's only allowed the infield hit to shortstop by Mondesi. And now he's hit two straight. There are two outs, and Ryan O'Hearn, who is 0 for 1 tonight, he flied out to center field.
Very rarely will you see back-to-back hitters plunked.
Eflin threw 27 pitches in the first 3 innings, and this will be the 20th pitch of this inning. Or I should say 21st pitch of this inning. Had a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. He backdoored that cutter.
So far, he's had to throw 9 extra pitches this inning.
No balls, 1 strike to O'Hearn. Ground ball back to the mound. Eflin's got it, and he throws to Hoskins covering, and he gets out of it. No runs, 1 hit. It was an infield single, and 3 men left. We will move to the 5th inning. Bryce Harper will lead it off. Auction, don't miss your chance. It's once in a lifetime opportunity to have some experiences and to collect unbelievable memorabilia items. Dinner party for 8 with Mike Schmidt. 500 home run club autograph baseball collection, including Schmitty, Hank Aaron, and Mickey Mantle. And a round of golf for 3 with John Kruk. I'm not sure if I'm still leading on that one or not. The fantastic auction will end on May 17th. Go to Phillies.com/fantastic auction to get a full list and to bid. By the way, in the background of that promo, you saw Bobby Dickerson talking to Maikel Franco, and you can see him discussing the play and having him move in, like boom, boom, putting his hands together, right hand to left hand, trying to get him to, come charging in to make that play. The fact that Eflin went into the stretch, though, was magnified more. Then he hit 2 guys. Ground ball to the right side. And Dozier throws out Harper. 5-3 on the putout on that one.
Eflin's at 49 pitches. He could be at 39 pitches through 4 innings.
Rhys Hoskins is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, I had an interesting conversation with the Royals second baseman Whit Merrifield before today's game, talking about this Royals team and how he believes they're a much better team than their record shows. But we were also talking about his experience this offseason, where he was part of the All-Star team that traveled over to Japan to play their All-Star teams as part of that goodwill initiative that the Major League Baseball has in the Japanese League. And he was teammates, of course, with Phillies' Rhys Hoskins, and at the time, the Marlins' JT Realmuto. And I had a conversation with him about what it was like to be with those guys over there as teammates. He said, well, first and foremost, obviously just terrific players. Now, Rhys and JT weren't teammates at the time. He said, but both of those guys just kind of emerged as leaders. He said, if you look back, Rhys got so many big hits in that series for Team USA, which is exactly what he does in a Phillies uniform as well. And he said, and of course, JT is just that silent guy that goes out and just leads by example. He said it was really terrific playing with both of those guys side by side. And he said, actually, recently he got a chance to spend some time together. They traveled around in the cities in Japan that they were in and, experienced the different culture activities that they were able to do. You see some of the photos that we've got from Major League Baseball. And he said he really got to know Rhys well, and what a terrific guy he was, and what a terrific teammate he was, which we already knew. But just interesting to hear him talking from his perspective, getting the chance to play with a couple of guys that he might not have gotten a chance to play with any other time. Yeah,
I mean, it's I think everybody that's done that, has gone on that tour, has had a great experience. Now, a lot of younger guys do it, but everybody that's gone on that tour has really enjoyed it. Scott Barlow, who pitched last night for the Royals, he was also on that tour. Murph has his winter coat on.
Yes, he does.
That's how chilly it is here in Kansas City.
Ooh, the wind is whipping on the concourse, I can tell you that.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's cold. It moved from chilly to cold about in the 4th inning.
You get a little mist off the fountains too?
Yeah, a little bit.
Murph, explain to everybody what it smells like, the fountains.
It smells like a water park.
Yes, it does.
Everybody knows that smell, right? I like that smell.
Smell of chlorine.
That's right.
Smell of chlorine in the morning.
I don't even have a jacket on up here in the booth, Murph.
Wow.
I'm about to put my jacket on top of my sweatshirt.
Come on out here, big fella.
Well,
Yeah. It's I'm with Murph. It's cold. I don't know.
I guess some people just can't hack it.
That's all right.
Dozier made every play this inning.
Yeah, 5-3, line 5, 5-3. The Phillies go down 1-2-3. We move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. Phil's for our Citizens Bank minor league. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. And scores from yesterday. Lehigh Valley lost to Indianapolis 6-5. Andrew Romine had a 2-run single. Reading defeated Akron 6-5. Cornelius Randolph had a couple runs scored and an RBI. Clearwater defeated Dunedin. We got to find somebody other than Alec Boehm to put up there. Lakewood lost to Hagerstown. Malvin Matos is happy that Alec Boehm's not there anymore because we took his name off the list each night. Here's Gutierrez to lead it off, and he takes inside. Gutierrez grounded back to the pitcher his first time up, but he lifts it foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. To the left side, backhanded by Segura. And across the diamond in time for the first out. Chris Owings will be the hitter. Owings grounded out also his first time up. The OPS for the Royals number 6 through 9 hitters is on average 597, which is really low. 1 through 5 though is through the roof. You know, they're among the leaders in all of baseball for the 1st through 5 hitters, but not a lot of production from the bottom part of their lineup.
Well, we saw some of that production last night. 2 home runs from Gordon, home run from Soler, Mondesi on base.
One ball, 1 strike.
Zach already with 6 ground balls tonight. Ground ball outs. One which being a double play back in the 2nd inning.
Inside. And a strike 3 call. Boy, he's had a beautiful spot on that part of the plate all night long. That's 4 strikeouts. And 3 of the 4 are looking. Murph, what do you got?
Well, I need to report on a game that's happening outside of our region, Tom, because so many folks, when I'm walking around ballparks, ask me how John Kruk's softball team is doing. Well, today were the semifinals of the regionals down there in Florida. They were all tied up at 3, and their catcher hit a 2-run home run to make it 5-3. They held on to win that game. So now Seacrest Country Day School, which is John's school, is going to play Canterbury St. Pete on Tuesday for the regional finals. If they win that game, they go to the state finals tournament, the 2A state finals tournament down there in Florida. I'm wondering how John feels right now. I'm wondering that.
And you're also wondering whether that ball is going to be caught by McCutcheon, and it is, Murph.
He's going to feel pretty good about that catch, I can tell you. And John feels pretty well, so congratulations to those gals down there in Florida, guys. And what a catch, by the way.
Yeah.
John Kruk approved.
Yeah. Congratulations, Johnny. Congratulations to Andrew McCutcheon making a fine play. Our Independence Blue Cross Fearless Philly of the Week is officially retired as a Philly, and no one did it for 2,090 games in a Titans uniform with more confidence or flair. A 3-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves, and an MVP award just tell part of the story for the franchise hits leader. J-Roll was the spark, the fire, and the smile that made them the team to beat in 2007, propelled them to 5 straight division titles, eventually lifting them to a world championship in 2008. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, we move to the top of the 6th inning, and through 5 innings, Brad Keller has 93 pitches, 53 strikes. And unlike Zach Eflin, he has not been as good with his first pitch strikes, 13 of 23. He'll face Odubel Herrera to lead off the 6th. And Odubel takes a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. Herrera's doubled and scored. He's also grounded out. Little bullpen action for the Royals. Upstairs, 1-2. Phillies have 4 runs on 4 hits. The Royals no runs on 2 hits. Ball didn't want to find anybody's hands, did it?
Nope.
Odubel lines it to right center field. That'll be in for a base hit. Owings trying to cut it off. He cannot, and that means Odubel high stepping to second. He's on his way to third, and he will get there. Sliding feet first, Odubel Herrera, his first triple of the year.
Doubles his last at bat, triples this one. That double to lead off the inning, and really that's what got things going. Back in the 4th inning, they end up scoring a run, just a hanging slider there. Odubel, I'm holding up 3 right away, thinking he's got this in the bank. A good park to do it in. Odubel's fired up as well he should be. It's called getting yourself to third with less than 2 outs.
Certainly is. Now Cesar hit by a pitch his last time up, and Maldonado able to grab that one out of the air, and it's 1-0. Phillies lead it 4-0. Try to add to that lead here. Outside, ball 4. Cesar walks. That might be it for Keller. They've had Sparkman warming up in the bullpen, and here comes Ned Yost. So the right-hander may be done. They'll bring in another right-hander here at the top of the 6th inning. No signal yet, and there's the signal. So a pitching change here in the 6th inning. Phillies will get into the Royals bullpen. They lead it 4-0, looking for some more. We'll be back to Kansas City right after this. Proudly supported by Chevrolet at Citizens Bank Park. It's Sunday, May 19th, when the Colorado Rockies are in town. A free arm sleeve for children 14 and under. Go to Phillies.com to order your tickets. Glenn Sparkman will take over. Sparkman 1-1 with an ERA of 3.38. Behind Homer Bailey, who's all bundled up, kind of like Murph and myself. There's Brad Keller, who went 5+, 102 pitches. Here's Maikel Franco 0 for 2 with runners on first and third. At a breaking ball.
Maikel in a real good situation here. Obviously that infield drawn in. A lot more green to work with out there. I think if you're the Royals, you got to come home with this no matter what. Being down 4-0.
A pitch high. 2-0. Ground ball to shortstop under the glove of Mondesi and into left center field. A run scores. Owings kicks it around. And the Phillies lead it 5-0.
For the life of me, Tom, and I hope this goes down as a hit for Maikel, I don't understand why these infielders keep going to a slide. It makes no sense. Just reach down and catch the ball.
It is a hit and an RBI.
I mean, the ball wasn't hit terribly hard. It was cooked pretty good, but not a rocket by any means. Just put your hand down and catch the ball. I don't get it. But Maikel and the Phillies will take it.
And so Odubel has scored 2 runs today. Knapp takes a pitch in the dirt. Andrew has walked twice.
How did that not hit him?
It bounced.
I mean,
swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. 95 on that one from Sparkman. That run charged to the line of Keller. One ball, 2 strikes to Knapp. Royals bullpen last night, 4 hitless innings. In relief of the starter, Homer Bailey, who got the win. Phillies looking for another hit with a runner in scoring position. They have 2 tonight. And a curveball outside, 2-2. Napper's seeing a lot of pitches here this evening.
He sure is. I think Sparkman will go back to that high fastball here. Andrew a bit tardy the first couple. He saw that breaking ball pretty good.
Ground ball right side. They get one at second, and that's all they'll get. Over to third base, Cesar Hernandez. It's 4-5 on the putout at second base and a fielder's choice. And Andrew McCutchen strolling to the plate. Still with 3 seconds to spare. He was a little early. Fouls it back to the screen. He has been up 3 times already, 1 for 3.
See him push another one across here.
Changeup. Changeup waffled inside.
I guess it's just old habit for guys to look down the third base box, but you have Andrew Knapp on first base. Last thing I would expect the Phillies to be doing here is put on a hit and run.
I think it's what you said, though. I think that it's something they've been doing since they were in Little League.
Remember Aaron Rowan used to look down at third base coach with 0-2 count, like nobody on. What are you doing?
Inside, 2-1.
Come on, Road Dog.
He's giving signs, Ben. He doesn't want to ignore him. Ground ball toward the hole. Mondesi backhands, throws on the run in time to get McCutchen. A run does score, though. An RBI. The Phillies are on top 6-0.
Nice job by Andrew. Get that run in. But what a play by Mondesi. He circles around this baseball. The only play he's going to have is to first base. And able to get McCutchen by a stride or two. An excellent play. See Mondesi, what he does so well, getting that baseball and just shows off his arm. We talk about the great arm of his father. Well, he showed off his right there.
It's Segura who walked back in the third and scored. 0 for 2. Takes a breaking ball upstairs. 1-0. All 6 runs charged to the line of Brad Keller. One and 2. Phillies began play tonight 3 games up over the Atlanta Braves. Braves are in Arizona playing the Diamondbacks. Washington is in Los Angeles. They'll take on the Dodgers.
See that ball Acuna Jr. hit last night? Dead center. Woo. In Arizona.
That one's out toward left center field. Owings on the run. And he will get to the spot, make the catch. Side is retired. 2 more runs score for the Phils. Here in the 6th. They do so with 2 hits. Leave 1. We leave for the bottom of the 6th. Del Torito. Is brought to you by Delaware Valley Honda Dealers. Already your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. We started this game a little early tonight out here in Central Time, so the sun is setting. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Whit Merrifield will lead it off. Zach Eflin, so far, so good. Back toward the middle, right between the feet of Eflin. And a leadoff base runner aboard for Eflin. And then it'll bring Mondesi to the plate. All right, let's see if Merrifield's going to be off and running down 6-0. Any thoughts on that, Ben? They don't seem to deviate.
No. I don't know. I don't think you run here. But if that's that much of a part of your game, then so be it. I don't see the reason to. You need to string hits together if you're Kansas City. You don't need to run into an out.
Right.
They ran into 5 of them last night.
Yeah, you go back and think about it. That was an awful lot. Mondesi had an infield hit his last time up. Broke his bat, ground ball to first. And Hoskins makes the play at second to get Merrifield. 3-6 on the put out.
How about that changeup?
Broke his bat.
Hasn't thrown a lot of them. That was a perfect time to throw one there. Right off the end of the bat. Good spin and throw there by Reese. Smart play by Segura. Just fading away from Mondesi. Tries to pull it. Reese clears the lane. Fires a strike to Gene. Gene wisely just says, you know what, we'll just take the out for now.
Ed Gordon, who has grounded out twice, once to first, once to second. Gordon, who is 6th all time in hits in Royals history, and it's a who's who, led by the biggest who, George Brett.
I prefer you refer to him as the Wathlin's babysitter.
Yeah. Number 2 is Frank White, longtime second baseman with 2006 hits. Amos Otis 3rd, Willie Wilson 4th, Hal McRae 5th. I don't know where he sits as far as double plays go, but he just added to the list as he hit one back to the box. 1-6-3 double play. And we are through. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. The Phillies lead at 6-0. You look at all the offense, and it's been a really good night. 2 RBIs apiece for Andrew McCutchen and Rhys Hoskins, but Zach Eflin's been the key tonight. 6 innings, 4 strikeouts. He's scattered 3 hits and has been phenomenal.
Just 63 pitches thus far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been as efficient as you can find. 13 of 21 first pitch strikes. That's gone down a little bit. And Richard Lovelady will take over for the Royals. Eflin doesn't have to worry about hitting, although that disappoints him because he likes to hit. And Bryce Harper starts it off. That first pitch was really close. Put a hole in the sign in the back, Ben.
Oh, no. You're going to need your tool belt, Tom.
Get some Gorilla Glue or some duct tape.
Works for everything.
That was the Xfinity fast pitch of the game. Brought to you by Xfinity X5. This is beyond Wi-Fi. This is X5.
Think that'll be fixed by tomorrow?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yes. They have folks for that, Ben.
I'm just saying, it's a weekend. You think they have extra signs,
No
rolling
doubt.
signs in the back?
No
Really?
doubt. There's the sign guy right
Yeah.
there. He's already making a phone call to try to get a new one. 3-2. Harper strikes out for the first out here in the 7th. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
Well, Tom, I'm always trying to get to the bottom of every story.
Yeah.
So will the sign be fixed by tomorrow? I'm bringing in my expert, Andrew, who's sitting right next to me. Andrew, the sign has been torn. Is it going to be fixed by tomorrow?
Probably not.
Oh, man.
I love the honesty. That's probably not going to be fixed by tomorrow, guys.
Does this make him frustrated because he's not prepared and he doesn't have an extra?
We're going to work together to get this fixed. It's going to be all right, Andrew?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How come he doesn't have any extras, Murph?
Tom, we're working on it. All right.
Don't get ahead of yourself. All right.
Ask him how often that happens where he has to replace.
Does that happen often?
It happens a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there you go. It happens all the time.
So the other one he had for that is already ripped.
Correct. That's exactly right, Tom. Tom likes to solve problems right away. So.
Does he need any assistance to fix it?
I told him I'd help him out. So we're good. We're going to get that fixed for you.
My thought would be, and this is just a suggestion,
Yeah.
is to take it off, tape the back of it, and then put it back on. Tell him that.
Okay. Tom would like to see it be removed, taped on the back, and then replaced.
Exactly how I do it. That is exactly how I do it.
Why can't
It's
he
like
do
Tom
it by
has
tomorrow?
experience in all this.
Why can't he do it by tomorrow?
We're going to get it done, Tom. We're going to get it done. That's right. A little Scotch tape. We got it.
Maybe he's out of tape.
Well, I know somebody who bought some tape today.
That gaff tape they use in the studio here, that stuff will tape anything together.
Yeah. 3-2 to Hoskins. Hoskins the opposite way. That'll slice out of play. And it remains 3-2. Somehow that foul ball wound up back on the playing field. Three balls, two strikes, and time is called. That one's hooked down the left field line. Foul. Just foul. This Tuesday is our next Dollar Dog Night. It's the final one of the spring. Come out to the ballpark where the Phillies take on the Brewers. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. It's a foul ball.
Give Maldonado credit for trying to catch that out of the air. Usually just see it glance off your mitt. He actually go ahead and try to catch it a second time.
This will be pitch number 10 to Rhys Hoskins. And he fouls another one back. Boy, he has a lot of these, doesn't he?
Sure does. You think about it, though, you're Lovelady, right? You're coming into this ballgame facing 3, 4, 5, Harper, Hoskins, and Real Muto. You know it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a grind. I don't care if it's 6-0. These guys are going to battle you tooth and nail.
Popped up. Foul territory, first base side. And it's O'Hearn. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And JT Real Muto is going to be the hitter. Real Muto is 0 for 3. He's grounded out. He is struck out looking. And he's grounded out to third.
He needs to get on the board here. Get yourself a knock here, JT.
Outside. That one whizzed right by his legs.
He has been effectively wild this inning.
Yeah.
First couple to Bryce. He had one to Rhys.
I would have to say that if you're a left-hander, it cannot be comfortable.
Can't be.
I don't think Diekman's comfortable. I think this guy is more uncomfortable than Diekman is. Way outside, and it's 3-1.
I mean, when he misses, he really misses.
Slugger.
A lot of R's in Slugger.
Yep. A lot of G's in Greg. As Maldonado throws out Real Muto. Side is retired here in the 7th inning. Time to stretch. The Phillies on top 6-0. 7th inning, Zach Eflin has thrown 53 pitches. And every time Zach or any Phillies pitcher records a pitch of 95 or more, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Hunter Dozier leads it off here in the 7th inning. Dozier has been hit by a pitch. He singled at a curveball, did not curve all the way. Fastball. And it's 1-1. Over to left side, Segura throws out Dozier just barely, and 1 out. Another ground ball out.
Remarkable. See, this is not something you would preach to a lot of shortstops, to lay back on a ball like that. I know Dozier runs pretty well for a big guy, but when you have an arm like Gene Segura, you can get away with it. Most of the time, you were going to want to attack that baseball if you're an infielder, especially on the left side of the diamond. But he can flat out
dance.
He can dance. He can just cut it loose. His arm is special.
Oh, 2.
I think Michael threw his gum over there. Used to be my biggest pet peeve.
What, gum?
The grounds crew can't stand it because it gets caught in the blades of the tractors and lawnmowers. But I hated when guys would just throw their gum on the field and it would get on your spikes, and it would just stay there until your spikes ran out. And that, you know me, I'm very meticulous about certain things. I used to have clean my spikes every game. Then you got this big wad of gum on the bottom of your spikes. It would drive me nuts. Just throw it in the trash can. That's my rant.
Trash cans are optional in baseball, Ben. Solaire's thrown out. 13 ground ball outs, or 13 outs thanks to the ground ball, with 2 outs here in the 7th.
What are they doing out there?
I don't know.
Yeah. He's loco. Can't have fun at the old ball yard.
Helps that you're up 6-0.
Yes, it does.
O'Hearn is 0 for 2. He's flied out and grounded out. 1 ball, no strikes.
He knows he's going to get it.
Change up.
If he can harness that. We saw the good one to Mondesi last inning, and it was a dandy. If he can go ahead and harness that, my goodness. Just to offset some of the lefties. Lefties hitting 297 going into this game. Righties hitting just 224.
Fly ball right center field. Playable for Harper. Odubel's there too. And Odubel will call off Bryce and make the catch. And the side is retired in order here in the 7th inning. Again, Zach Eflin has been as efficient as you will find. 74 pitches through 7. Baseball is brought to you by your local Chevrolet dealers and by Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Phillies lead at 6-0 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Here it is, it's 6-4-3. That got going in the 2nd inning. And then off the bat of Alex Gordon, a 1-6-3 double play. Gene with all the time in the world. It really is a pitcher's best friend. They are your Hyundai defensive plays of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Well, for Zach Eflin, 74 pitches through 7. He's going to go out there and pitch the 8th. And Brad Boxberger will take over. It has not been as good of a start as Boxberger had hoped for. And he will face Odubel Herrera, who is 2 for 3. Boxberger last year with Tampa, or excuse me, last year with Arizona, had 32 saves and a 4.39 ERA. ERA is higher in the American League, but certainly is not closing the way that they anticipated. Odubel waves at it. It's 1-2.
And that's his go-to pitch. That changeup is so good. Not a hard throw. Maybe touch 90. Maybe.
Two balls, two strikes to Herrera. And he pulls it toward second base. Merrifield throws him out, one away. And Cesar Hernandez is coming up. Cesar has grounded out. He's been hit by a pitch and he's walked. And he takes a pitch a bit low. Phillies try to pick up win number 22. Again, their lead in the division is 3 over Atlanta. Atlanta is currently leading Arizona 2-0. That game has just finished up the 4th inning. Mets lead Miami 4-1. Three and one. Cesar taking all the way. And it's now full 3-2 to Hernandez, who's been on base twice tonight. I don't think that means he's going to drive over with us tomorrow.
I was just thinking that.
Cesar came over with us today, and he said that if he got 2 hits today, he'd go over with us again tomorrow. I mean, technically he has been on twice and scored once.
I think he enjoyed our conversation on the way over.
Either that or he was confused by it. He walks. That's ball 4. And now been on base 3 times. Here's Maikel Franco. Franco has struck out, he's flied out, and he has singled home a run. The RBI, his 28th of the year. I bet he's on pace for 100 RBIs.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great?
Now, he was on pace for that last year. He was. But this is different. Outside 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. Down low, ball 4. So back-to-back walks. Phillies have walked 6 times tonight. They've been hit by 1 pitch. And Andrew Knapp, who has walked twice, is the hitter. I think Ned Yost is thinking, I got to get somebody else up soon.
Yeah, he's just really struggling. 17 pitches.
Well, and 10 are out of the strike zone. 10 of the 17 are balls.
He's really laboring out there, struggling to find that strike zone.
Phillies are 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. And a changeup, that's a strike, and it's 0-2 to Knapp with McCutchen on deck.
It really is a good pitch, just never seems to get there. Makes that 90 look a heck of a lot harder as well.
Pulled up the first base line. Boxberger has it, will just take it to the first base bag. Runners move up, but there are 2 outs. The uncommon 1 unassisted. McCutchen, who has a hit in 4 plate appearances and an RBI and a run scored. I think the only deterrent for Eflin tonight is that he has sat for a long time when the Phillies have been up. Now it's been good because they've scored 6 runs. The Phillies have had some long innings. And on the other side, he hasn't had long innings. He had 1 long inning tonight.
They do have a heater in there.
One and 2.
Can he make it 4 RBIs tonight? Be nice.
Phillies have not homered yet in this series. Out to right field. And Jorge Soler went back a step now. Crisscrosses back in. No runs, no hits, and 2 men left. Zach Eflin, 74 pitches under his belt, will go back to work to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning when we return. Keep up with all the Phils action. Feel with the My Teams app. Stories, stats, and streaming all in one place. You never have to miss your Phils. Jim Salisbury is talking about the story about Andrew McCutchen visiting the Negro League Museum with a bunch of other Phils, and how Jim was able to follow along. That was a great story. And Andrew's so open and so honest about the entire trip. You can check that out on the My Teams app.
I heard Jimmy talking about it on the pregame show with Denny Palmels and Ricky Bowe, and
yeah, Jimmy was
said, "I'm getting chill bumps."
Yeah, it was cool.
You know, retelling a story. And Andrew really wants to bring his son back and show him as well.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Kelvin Gutierrez. And Eflin watches him foul another one off. Remains 1 and 2.
always nice to come into Kansas City here and see Buck O'Neil. Was always making an effort to come down the ballpark and get a chance to talk to Buck O'Neil, and what a special man he was. So outgoing, asking so many questions. He loved telling stories.
A bit low, 2-2.
I have a ball signed by Buck, prominently displayed in my parents' cellar. Sorry, in their basement. I know you don't like when I say cellar.
I love it. 2-2 pitch. The Tapper back over to shortstop. Segura charges on the run in time. That's another ground ball out. One away. Let's get an update on what's going on around baseball. Here's Greg Murphy.
All right, thanks, Tom. T-Mobile connecting to the game. I think the big story in baseball today, the Rays announcing that Tyler Glasnow is headed to the injured list. He has a strain in his forearm. He left yesterday's game versus the Yankees in the middle of that game because he felt a little bit of a twinge in there. Had an MRI. They did say that there is a strain in there. He, of course, is 6-1 with a 1.86 ERA so far this season. So tough for him to land on the injured list. And Cesar Hernandez pointed this story out to us on the way over today in our minivan. Seattle Mariners right-hander Felix Hernandez getting career strikeout 2,500. He's just 33 years old. He's the 6th youngest player to reach that plateau, 2,500 strikeouts. And he said today after the game he hopes he can play a couple more years. He would love to get to that 3,000 strikeout plateau. Man, he might be able to do it. Who knows?
He might be able to do it.
King Felix.
He had a 4-1 lead today, and then it was erased in a matter of seconds by the Red Sox.
That happens.
1-2 in our minivan. It's our souped-up minivan, Murph.
I remember my days off in spring training when not days off, but when I wouldn't play in the game, the 1 o'clock game, I'd go down to the minor league quad. Another caught looking here. Chris Owens. I go down to the minor league quad and get, I don't know, on a given day, 12 at bats. And I remember hearing all this hype about Felix Hernandez coming up through our system. And I remember one day he was pitching, and I actually took a couple of bats off just to watch him pitch, and it was like, whoa, this kid's how old? This kid's 17? Are you kidding me? And it was special. It was electric, and he just made guys look silly.
Here's Maldonado, who is 0 for 2, and it's 0-1. So you didn't hit against him, or you did hit against him?
I did not hit against him. He was obviously facing other guys I would face.
Yeah, you were afraid.
Hey, I got embarrassed for 16 years. It was, I didn't want to get embarrassed at a minor league spring training game.
0-2.
That's a whole lot of strikeouts there. 2,500.
It's a lot of strikeouts. I think he could stick around for 3,000. He's not the same strikeout pitcher he was.
Lost a lot on that fastball. That is one of the coolest things in sports, though. Have the King's Court, the way they
down the left field line.
Yeah, much like they have at Yankee Stadium with Aaron Judge. Judge's chambers.
Tapper back towards shortstop. Segura's up with it, throws to first in time, and another 1-2-3 inning for Zach Eflin. Eflin has 15 outs on the ground tonight. That means everything is moving away from the barrel of the bat. We'll go to the ninth. Phil in town beginning Monday 7:05. 3 night games, and then Thursday is a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Again, it's our second Throwback Thursday game with the powder blue uniforms. Visit Phillies.com to order your tickets. We go to the top of the 9th inning. That young man is going to go out to pitch the 9th and try to pick up his second complete game of the season. He's going to begin with 89 pitches as Willie Peralta will take over. Peralta 6.35 ERA. And he will face a former teammate, Eugene Segura. outside of the third base bag, and it's 1-1. Outside. Opposite way, and Segura's got a base hit. And he's on for the second time.
Amazing his ability to use the whole field. He lets that pitch get so deep and just takes the same swing. Ho hum, another line drive to right field.
His average was dipping under 300 before that hit. It's at 302 now.
Started at 304.
Harper slowly to the right side. He'll get Segura at second base. That's all they'll get. It's 4-5 on the putout. Second time tonight we've had a 4-5 putout for the Royals. And Rhys Hoskins, who is 1 for 4, had a 2-run single back in the third, which was a huge at bat. Tomorrow the Royals will start Jacob Junis. First pitch is scheduled for 2:15 Eastern time. Phillies are anticipating a Cole Irvin major league debut. Two 2-0. There's Junis. You will not see Cole in the Phillies dugout because he is not officially on the roster.
Looking forward to it.
I'm excited to see Cole pitch. 3-0. And ball 4.
Last lefty to start for the Phillies, Ranger Suarez, correct?
Yes.
I believe it was. I remember Murph doing a piece on that last year in Cincinnati. I think that going back to like 2016 since the Phillies, and it was Adam Morgan.
Yeah, lefties used to be, I don't want to say plentiful, but you know, when you have Cole Hamels, you're feeling pretty plentiful.
Right.
JT Realmuto is 0 for 4. 3 ground outs and a strikeout. He'll be back behind the plate tomorrow. Fly ball right center field. Soler on the run back toward the fence, and it's going to hit off the base of the wall. Harper's going to be held at third. And Hoskins is going to be back to second base. with a little swim move and a twist.
Yeah, that's a tough one to read there for Bryce Harper. He obviously thinks he should have read it better. You don't see a ball go that far without getting an RBI with a man on second base. This ball is really touched. Love to see JT going to that side. Nothing Soler can do. Hits right at the base of the wall. You know, with one out, you should probably be a little bit farther towards the third base bag. One out halfway, no outs, you tag.
Royals took a moment just to look to make sure that Reese had gotten back.
Especially on a ball like that, probably should be even maybe 3/4 of the way to the third base bag.
I think he's frustrated too because he looked back and saw the ball died in the grass.
Right.
And probably felt like he could have he had recovered and could have scored. I mean, we're sort of speculating what was rolling around in his head, but I think it was that, but also at the end that he could have scored. One ball, one strike to Odubel. Odubel has 2 extra base hits tonight. He's got a double and a triple.
That was a healthy cut there. Looking to drive in 4 right there.
Down the left field line, and it's 1-2.
Good one to hit. You can see his frustration.
Which time? When he yelled or when he hit himself in the head with his bat?
When he concussed himself?
All right, boys, let's go. A lot of hop.
Take him out to dinner. Quite the conversation at home plate.
Loquacious.
Very loquacious. Enforcer.
Change up. That was a fastball.
We were talking in the car on the way over about the overlay they did with Zach Greinke and the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Zach threw 2 pitches and more time it took to complete the whole race. That was pretty cool.
To Ozzie Albies.
Yeah. A couple timeouts called.
Another one fouled away. I know Murph doesn't want to disencourage Odubel from being prepared, but the conversation is slowing this game up.
Tom, by next year, that'll be in the dictionary.
I hope it is.
What did he say last night? Someone just got lazy? So there had to be a word at some point.
At one point in the English language, that was a word.
Swing and a miss. Odubel is struck out, and there are 2 outs.
And Odubel very frustrated. Had some really good pitches to hit there, just not able to get the job done.
Yeah, that brings Cesar to the plate.
changeup out of the zone. Maldonado smothers it, and he could see himself out of this. 2 walks, what should have been a double, and he could escape with no runs. I'm sorry, 1 walk.
Cesar has walked twice. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's grounded out. And he takes a change up.
This time he spent on the bench tonight.
Yeah.
Got to be anxious, chomping at the bit to get back out there and finish this thing off. Good time to step off.
Check swing, 2-2. Phillies scored 3 in the 3rd, and then 1 run in the 4th, 2 in the 6th inning. They've had base runners in 2 other innings, 3 counting this one, as they had the bases loaded here in the top of the 9th inning. They lead at 6-0. The 2-2 pitch coming to Cesar Hernandez, and he pulls it to the right side. Merrifield knocks it down, picks it back up, and he has no play. A run scores, and it's 7-0 Phillies. 4th error of the year for Merrifield.
They gave it a hit.
Okay. Maybe he is going to ride with us tomorrow.
See where Merrifield is positioned. The ball hit sharply.
That's an error.
I agree. It's just a simple backhand. It goes in your glove. You turn, you throw, he's out.
He had a play at second or first. Ball's popped up foul behind home plate. Maldonado runs out of room. Young Phillies fan picked it up. Ben, I think he's a Bryce Harper fan.
What gave it away?
Just a feel. I like that shirt, though.
Good sinker there.
0-2 on that sinker.
That's some movement. See a lot of catchers trying to block a fastball. That was a good job there by Maldonado. You just don't anticipate to be in the dirt. Sometimes you call obviously breaking balls to be in the dirt, but never a fastball.
Phillies bullpen hopefully will stay quiet tonight. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Franco. And he pulls it toward third, and Dozier will just take it to the bag. That'll wrap up the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies add a run, and Zach Eflin is trying to pick up his 2nd complete game of the year. He'll go to work in the bottom of the 9th inning when we come back. Mason deliveries of the game. Let's go to the third. This is what the Phillies really needed tonight.
Really all they needed thus far. Bullet up the middle there by Rhys Hoskins at plate 2. After Rhys Hoskins had struck out. Good 2 out. 2-strike hitting there by Rhys Hoskins, and that is your W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
And we mentioned that's all they've needed because this guy right here has been on top of his game yet again. 8 innings, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks. We mentioned about the walks and how good he's been this year with that. His walk rate is the 7th lowest in all of baseball. He has 15 ground outs, 4 flyouts, and 5 strikeouts. And the 3 hits that he's allowed, a single in the second, an infield single in the 4th inning, and a single to center by Merrifield in the 6th. And Merrifield begins the 9th inning. And the first pitch, that one's in there, a cutter, and it's 0-1. That cutter, a pitch that he just really picked up this past offseason, and it's become a huge pitch for him. He uses it even more than the slider. Try to give the bullpen a night off. Had a changeup, and it's 2-1. Merrifield popped out to shortstop, struck out looking in the 4th inning. That's the thing about Eflin. Of the 5 strikeouts that he has tonight, 4 are looking. And it's pretty much with the same pitch. Three and 2. Right on the edge, and he's been on the edge. He's lived on the outer half of the plate to these right-handed batters. Mostly down. That was the one that one was up, but mostly down. Little tapper left side. And Franco throws him out, 1 away.
16 ground ball outs. That's a backdoor sinker there.
That matches Jake Arrieta's season high for the year. In case you're wondering, the last complete game shutout for the Phillies was back in September of 2016. Jeremy Hellickson against Miami.
I'm sure Larry Anderson is watching this game back home in Philly. He's got to be loving this fastball command down and away to Rice. He preaches it as well. He should. But this has just been unbelievable with that pitch to righties today.
Yes.
It's been phenomenal. And look at the success he's having with it. 16 ground ball outs. You kidding me?
Mondesi has reached on an infield hit. And his other 2 at-bats, he struck out swinging. He was overpowered by the fastball. And reached on a fielder's choice. He's had only 2 3-ball counts. Eflin. Swing and a miss on the backdoor cutter. 2-2. Ben, I keep saying cutters. Those are all cutters. They're not sliders.
No. Definitely are cutters.
Yeah, the 2-2 pitch. Reaches out and pokes it foul. Two-two pitch. And a strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. 6 strikeouts.
This absolute clinic. This ball run. Paint.
101 pitches for Eflin. Alex Gordon is the hitter. And he takes strike one. He's complaining about the pitch. It was a strike according to the box. And it's 0-1. Eflin is trying to pick up his second career shutout. The ball's at 2 strikes. Pitch number 104 coming to Alex Gordon. Some Phillies fans on their feet. There are a lot of them. And the pitch from Eflin. Fouled back to the screen.
Since that one inning, the 4th inning where he had to throw all those extra pitches, I mean, he has smelled blood in the water. He's just gone for the jugular. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Again, the 0-2 pitch to Gordon. And that one's hit out toward right center field. It'll split the gap and one hop the wall. Gordon will have the first extra base hit of the night for the Royals. It's a 2-out double. And it brings Hunter Dozier to the plate. Dozier has singled. He's also been hit by a pitch and he's grounded out. I think Gabe is wondering, do I have somebody start warming up? I don't think he needs to yet.
The bullpen very content to stay underneath those heat lamps.
Yeah, they're going to get somebody up. Just in case. It's not about the lead. It's more about, in this day and age, pitch count. Although he hasn't broken a sweat. Dozier pops it foul, 0-1. Wonder what the feeling is when you need 1 out, and in the case of Gordon, 1 strike to pick up a shutout. Shutouts, which in a lot of ways are dying breeds in the game of baseball. But Eflin is trying to pick up his second career shutout. The 0-1 pitch coming. Just a bit outside, 1-1.
Shutouts or complete games and the sacrifice bunt. Almost, unless you're a pitcher in the National League. I mean, you're almost extinct.
1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2. So for the second straight hitter, he's down to his final strike. The 25-year-old from just outside of Jacksonville. Try to pick up his 5th win of the year, but also his 2nd complete game of the season. He's the last one to have 2 complete games for the Phillies in 16. And outside and low, 2-2. 96.
Feeling it.
And a strike 3 called on the outside corner. Zach Eflin with his 7th strikeout of the night, his 2nd complete game of the season, his 2nd career shutout. And the Phillies bounce back and win it 7-0.
Climb on, boys. I'll take you to the promised land. Just needed but 1 run. Phillies ended up getting 7. He was just dominant from pitch 1.
He finished with 16 ground ball outs on the night, 7 strikeouts, and of the 7 strikeouts, 6 were looking, including the last one.
My goodness.
The win for the Phillies, the 22nd victory of the year. The win for Eflin is his 5th of the season, and he is our Chevrolet player of the game.
As well he should have been. Just a dominating performance for Zach. 9 innings pitched, and they're going to have to replace the dirt out in front of home plate. So many ground balls today. just able to dot down in a way to righties, the cutter to both sides of the plate, even mix in some changeups to give the Royals a little something extra to think about. Broken bat there, induced a couple double plays. Just a phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal, performance. Finish off Hunter Dozier there in the 9th inning. Just absolutely unbelievable job. That's why he is your Chevrolet player of the game.
He threw 22 pitches in the 4th inning. Since that 4th inning, he finished with 61 pitches and wraps up his 2nd career shutout. He's down on the field with Greg Murphy. Murph? So 7-0 the final score. The Phillies have defeated the Royals. We're having a little technical difficulty with Murph's microphone, and we'll try to get that rectified in just a moment. 7 runs on 9 hits for the Phillies. For Eflin, he threw 110 pitches, 76 strikes. Now 21 pitches in the 9th inning of this ball game, but he was economical throughout the course of the evening. He had 9 pitches in each of the first 3 innings. He had 10 pitches in the 5th inning. He had 4 pitches in the 6th inning. And he had 11 pitches in the 7th inning. That was styling. He had a very good cutter. He had a really good fastball, both the 4-seamer and the 2-seamer. And his 5 wins move him into a tie for first place in the National League with Zach Greinke and Brandon Woodruff for most wins by a National League pitcher. Let's try it again. Murph, take it away.
All right, as I was saying, I'm here with Zach Eflin, and just the gem. Your 2nd complete game in your last 3 starts, 16 ground ball outs. Fastball command looked like it was pretty darn good today.
Yeah, everything felt good. Once again, just following Nappy's lead. You know, it really goes unnoticed how much they put in time to, come up with a great game plan. And once again, man, he absolutely nailed it. Like I say every time, man, it's like, the less we have to think out there, the better. And just being able to trust your catcher and going right after guys is awesome. And defense played awesome tonight. Offense was there. It was a good team win.
You also have to execute that game plan, though. At what point in a game like tonight do you realize, okay, I've got pretty much everything working at this point, and I'm going to be able to get through this lineup and keep them off balance?
Beginning of the game, I knew I had my command. It was kind of actually pretty spotty in the bullpen. But coming out here, the mound felt good. Once again, Nappy threw down some great signs. Felt good out there, throwing all my pitches for strikes, and just being able to attack guys and get ahead and pitch inside really helped me. So, like I said, just game plan.
You mentioned the offense, and it's got to be comforting to know that this offense is able to put up runs the way they do. They get you some early runs, they add on, that allow you to be a little bit more relaxed out there?
Absolutely, yeah. It just allows us to attack the guys even more. I'm already a guy that attacks guys, but to be able to, have that cushion behind you and to really kind of just go right after people instead of, nibbling the corners or whatnot is really huge for us.
Not even going to ask you if they asked you if you wanted to go back in the 9th, because I know no one even talked to you in that dugout afterward. There was no doubt you were heading back out there.
There's no doubt, absolutely.
Zach, congratulations on a great job. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you. Pretty impressive just to think about what Zach Eflin did. He threw 22 pitches in that 4th inning. He worked out of a bases-loaded jam. It was somewhat of a tight game at that point. But then he pitches the complete game shutout to win it 7-0. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.